Okay, next we're going to create a drawing for CSWA Section D Problem 2. This is just to check your work, so you know that if you've created all your sketches, they're fully defined, and then you create this drawing and all the dimensions match the original, then you should have a lot of confidence that your part is correct. So I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 views. Right, I see 2 orthographic views. I would call this top and side. And then we have a section view going through these 2 ribs. We have an isometric view here on the left, and then we have a detail view B, which shows the detail of this one little rib. So I'm going to run through this quickly. So we've already created the part. Looks kind of funky because of the material that we've applied, but that's what they want. So to create a drawing, File, Make Drawing from Part. There's other ways to make a drawing, but this is the easiest. I like the B landscape size, so you uncheck this box and you'll see B landscape. You'll uncheck this display sheet format, so make sure neither of these are checked and hit OK. And then we can just drag and drop, let's see, this top view over. So it may be named differently if you oriented your part differently. But once you get that view, you just move the mouse over to the right and left click, and then you have the right view. And then I'm going to click escape to stop making views. Okay, so now I have these 2. The next view that I'm going to create will be, how about we'll do this section. So we have a section line. You can't see it just because of the line style, but it goes right through the middle of these 2 ribs. So we're going to go over here to the drawing tab. We're going to click section view, and we're going to click auxiliary. And the easiest way to do this is to click the midpoint of this line and then the midpoint of this little edge. And you can right click to accept it, or you can click the check here. Then we're going to drop our view. If it's pointing the wrong direction, click flip direction. I think that's how they want it. So that's that. You can, let's see, any of the dimensions tricky. If you want to dimension to the center of the circle, you may have to add a center mark. So go over to annotations, center line. Left click on center line, and I believe you can just click right on the face of that. It should create the center line. As long as your section's going through the real center of that, you should be able to just click on the face. Then you can dimension from there to here. I accidentally have this in inches, so I can change my units now. Millimeters, 45. Okay. And then you can figure out all the rest of those dimensions. Nothing's really that tricky. Just remember, anytime you're dimensioning to the center of a circle, well, I'll show you over here in the detail view. So we're going to create a detail view, go to drawing, detail view, and then the center of that view is going to be somewhere near the center of this rib. So just left click to get the center of the circle, and then click again to find the radius, and then left click to drop the view. So detail B, and we have this 45 dimension, which is the same as this one, but we'll allow it. Oh, actually, so I made a mistake and I didn't make the detail big enough, but that's okay, right? So this detail shows a center line here. So what I can do, I can move the center of this circle. I can move any part of this. I can make it bigger just by grabbing the edge, right? That looks a little more like the drawing. But then if I try to make this dimension from the edge to this center line mark, it gives me an angle. So hit escape, I don't want that. I want the dimension to the center of the circle, so I left click on that edge and I left click on the geometry of either one of these circles or cylindrical features, and that will get you the dimension you're looking for. So always, if you can, try to pick the geometry. Don't pick the center marks or center lines. And then to create this isometric view, if we're lucky, a view looking just like that will be on our view palette. I don't care, since I'm making these to check my prints, I really don't care so much about that isometric view. So in this case, it is, so we oriented the sketches the same way that whoever made these original examples made them, right? So you can just click and drag it over. If that's the case, you can stop now. If you need to create a view with that orientation, you can go back to the part, right? Let's see. And then, oops. All right, and then let's orient it to one of the basic views. So I like to hit spacebar, then I left click here. And what I found that you can use the arrow cursor keys to move 15 degrees at a time. So I believe this is 45 degrees left. So 1, 2, 3 left, and then 30 degrees down. So 2 clicks down. I'll kind of eyeball it. That looks like about right. And then you can save this view by clicking the space bar. And then this telescope with the asterisk adds a new view. And you name that. I like to call it ISO drawing. I'm going to call this view fill, just to show you can do anything. You can name it whatever you want. Phil Collins. There you go, Phil, baby. All right, check OK. And then we go back to the drawing. And if you name it something silly like that, it's a little easier to find. There it is. There's the drawing. Drawing view, Phil Collins. There it is. Okay, so that's it. I hope this was helpful. And you can add all those dimensions on your own. Have a wonderful day.